Good morning, dear students. In previous class, we were discussed about some techniques of separating the components of a mixture, in which first one is evaporation. Evaporation means separation of volatile component from non-volatile component. Second one, centrifugation. It means separation of colloidal particles from solution. And applications concern the process of centrifugation. It means where it is or where centrifugation technique is used. Afterwards, separation by using separating funnel. It means separation of mixture of two immiscible liquids. Example is taken there. Immiscible liquids like kerosene oil and water, both are separated by separating funnel. And uses of separating funnel. Afterwards, what is mean by sublimation? It means separation of a solid volatile component from mixture. Examples are discussed there. Mixture of common salt and ammonium chloride can be separated by sublimation process. Afterwards, what is meant by chromatography? Chromatography means separation of components with the help of some same solvent. And chromatography came from Greek word chroma. Chroma is nothing but color. This technique was first used for the separation of color. Afterwards, where the technique chromatography is used. Today, let us see what is meant by distillation. Yes, my dear students, distillation means separation of two miscible liquids. How two miscible liquid can separate? Is separate with the help of water, with the help of the process of distillation. The process of distillation, separation of two miscible liquids. Separation of two miscible liquid. Yes, if liquid in a mixture are miscible, boil without decomposition and possess different boiling points, then they can be separated by the process of distillation. Distillation involves the conversion of liquid into vapor followed by the condensation of vapor back into the liquid. Therefore, distillation is used only if the liquid have difference in boiling point of more than 25 Kelvin. Yes, my dear students, it means a liquid in a mixture are miscible, boil without decomposition. Liquids in a mixture are miscible, boil without decomposition, and possess different boiling points. Then they can be separated by then they can be separated by the process of distillation. Yes, my dear students, it involves what? A distillation process involves the conversion of a liquid into vapor, by the condensation of vapor, followed by the vapor back into liquid. Okay, and distillation is used if the liquids have a difference in boiling points of more than 25 Kelvin. Yes, my dear students. Okay, it means it will be separated. How? Two miscible liquids, they have a more than boiling point more than 25 Kelvin. Yes, my dear students, in which first one is the process of fractional distillation. Fractional distillation. Yes. To separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquid for which the differences in boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin, fractional distillation process is used. Example, separation of different gases from air, different fraction point of petroleum products. Yes, my dear students, it means the apparatus is similar to that for a simple distillation, except that a fractionating column is fitted in between the distillation flask and the condenser. A simple fractionating column is a tube packed with glass beds. The beds provide surface for the vapors to cool and condense repeatedly. Yes, my dear students, first of all, to separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquids for which the differences in boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin, less than 25 Kelvin, fractional distillation process is used. Fractional distillation process is used. Yes, my dear students, apparatus is set up here. It is similar to that of a simple distillation tube. Here, fractionating column is fitted in between a distillation flask and a condenser. Yes, my dear students, what is the function of condenser? Cool. A simple fractionating column is a tube packed with glass beds. The beds provide surface for the wafers to cool and condenses repeatedly. Yes, my dear students, let us see separating of or separation of different gases present in air. Separation of different gases present in air. Yes, here a simple technique is used. What first of all, air compress and cool by increasing pressure, cool by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. Then it is converted as what? A liquid air. Then it is converted as a liquid air. It means afterwards the process takes place here. Allow to warm up slowly in fractional distillation column, and gases get separated at different heights. Yes, my dear students. Air converted as a liquid air. Air is converted as a liquid air. Yes, let us see one by one. Air is homogeneous mixture and can be separated into components by the process of fractional distillation. Yes, my dear students, it is termed as what? Air is a homogeneous mixture. It can be separated by the process of fractional distillation. For this purpose, the air is compressed by increasing pressure and cooled to very low temperature. Yes, my dear students, the process takes place here. What? Compress and cool by increasing pressure. The process of increasing pressure takes place. Afterwards, decreasing in the temperature. Thus, liquid air is obtained. What is obtained here, my dear students? The liquid air is obtained. Yes. This liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column. Yes, allowed to slow where? In an fractional distillation column. where gases get separated at different heights. Gases get separated different heights depending upon their boiling points, depending upon their boiling point. Example, boiling point of oxygen, argon, and nitrogen. Yes, oxygen is minus 183 boiling point, argon is 186 minus 186, and nitrogen is minus 196. Yes, my dear students, air by volume, oxygen is 20.9, argon is 0.9, and nitrogen is 78.1. Is it clear how the gases present in air get separated? Yes, my dear students, this separated water fractional distillation tube, with the help of fractional distillation tube, the gases can be separated present in an air. Yes, my dear students, after discussing what the process of fractional distillation, let us see what is meant by crystallization. What is meant by crystallization? Yes, crystallization is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystal from a solution. Yes, my dear students, definition of crystallization is, it is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystal form, form a solution, Yes, my dear students, crystallization is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystal form a solution. This method is used to purify solid. Example, the salt we get from a seawater can have many impurities in it. Why? Because most of the minerals are dissolved in an seawater. To remove this impurity, the process of crystallization is used. Crystallization technique is better than a simple evaporation technique. Yes, my dear students, what are the applications of crystallization technique? It is used what the purification of salt obtained from a seawater. Yes, where it is used purification of salt from a seawater. Second, separation of crystals of alum, it means pitkari, from impure samples. Yes, my dear students, let us see purification of drinking water. Purification of drinking water. Purification of drinking water. Yes, my dear students, in cities, drinking water is supplied from water works. A number of dissolved and suspended impurities are to be remove before making it fit for drinking processes. Yes, it means the purification of drinking water. The process involves water, various process in which first one the process of sedimentation. Yes, first technique is used here, water sedimentation. Yes, sedimentation means to remove suspended solid. It means a water is allowed to stand for some time so that suspended impurities settle down. Yes, my dear students, sedimentation separate water as suspended as solid. And loading, second one is the second process is water, the process of loading. It means it removes suspended solids. It removes water as suspended solids. Second is a loading, process of loading with alum to remove small particles like clay present in the colloidal state. Particles like clay being negatively charged are neutralized by alum and are coagulated at the bottom of tank. That is termed as water loading. Loading is, my dear students, using water alum, with the help of alum to remove the small particles are present in water. Yes. Third one, the process of filtration. The process of filtration. Yes. To remove dissolved solids by passing the water through filtration tank with possess three layers: coarse gravel at the bottom, fine gravel in the center, and fine sand at the top acts as filters. Impure water is introduced from to be bottom such that impurities are retained in three layers of gravel, and pure water goes to the top and sent to the chlorination tank. Yes, my dear students, here what happened in a filtration process? Here three layers are present. Three layers are films where in an filtration tank. Yes, in first one is coarse gravel. Yes, present where in an bottom of the tank, and second fine gravel. Yes, it is present where in a center, and third one is fine gravel at the top. Fine sand is used where in a top of a tank. Afterwards, the process of chlorination takes place. Yes, my dear students. After learning filtration process, next one is chlorination. It means addition of a chlorine in an water. Yes, let us see why chlorine is used to kill bacteria present in an water. Filtered water is treated with bleaching powder to kill bacteria. The pure water is now supplied to homes for drinking water. Yes, my dear students, it means the process of purification of drinking water involves totally 4 stages. First stage is sedimentation. It means a remove of solid particles or suspended solid particles. Second one is loading. It means alum is used here. Why? Because of the process of filtration. It means some clay is present in water that will be filtered with the help of water alum, because negative charged particles are with water alum. Afterwards, the process of filtration, yes, it involves water. A layer tank involve 3 main layers: coarse gravel, it means it is present in a bottom, and fine gravel it seems in a center, and fine sand is present in a top of a filtration tank. Afterwards, the filtrated water will be chlorinated with the help of water. Chlorinate means a bleaching powder. Why the process of chlorination takes place? Because to kill bacteria. Yes, my students, let us see physical and chemical change. Physical and chemical change. Physical and chemical change. The properties that can be observed and specified like color, hardness, rigidity, fluidity, density, melting point, boiling point, etc. are called as what a physical property. It means whatever we touch, whatever we sensitized. Yes, my dear students, and they have capacity what a fluidity and density. Their melting point, it means melts, and boiling point, how when they are boil. Yes, these all are termed as what the physical properties. And chemical means the change which occur without change in composition and in chemical nature of a substance. Okay, the interconversion of state is physical change. Example, change of water in ice is a physical change because chemically ice and liquid water both are same. Yes, my dear students, whatever we touch and feel, that is termed as what a physical change. Let us see about a chemical change. In a chemical change is one substance react with another substance to undergo a change in chemical composition. Chemical changes bring a change in the chemical properties of matter and a new substance is obtained. A chemical change is also termed as a chemical reaction. Example, both water and cooking oil are liquid, but their chemical characters are different. They differ in odor and their inflammability. Yes, my dear students. In this chapter, we all are discussed what is meant by a pure substance, in which elements can be seen in or classification of elements seen in broadly three types: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Yes, and compound. Afterwards, what is meant by a mixture and types of mixture. There are totally two types: homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Afterwards, differences between compounds and mixtures. Afterwards, what is solution and components of a solution. It means solvent and solute, and properties of a solution. Afterwards, concentration of a solution and related solved problem. Next, definition of suspension and properties. Afterward, definition of a colloidal solution and their properties. After that, separating the components of a mixture. It means different techniques are used in separating the components of a mixture, in which the process of evaporation, centrifugation, separating funnel, sublimation, chromatography, distillation, fractional distillation. Yes, finally, we discussed the process of crystallization and purification of drinking water, physical and chemical change.